Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey guys, my name is Jon Manganello, and welcome to the Silicon Valley After Show here on AFTERBUZZ. You can tweet at us all night long at hashtag ABTV Silicon Valley. We're so excited to be here tonight. We have a great episode to talk about. But before I get ahead of myself, I want to introduce my beautiful panel.
Hi guys, my name is Quinn Scillian. You can find me on Twitter at Quinn Scillian.
Hey, I'm Kelly McInerney, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HollyWeirdo.
Hello, I'm Napoleon Tavale, and you can follow me at Twitter at Napoleon Tavale.
Napoleon is a beautiful young man and not a familiar face to you all at home if you've been watching. Napoleon is an actor. He starred on such wonderful shows as General Hospital, Hawaii Five-0, and The Young and the Restless. And you got some episodes coming up on some of those shows, right?
Yeah, recurring character as a police officer on General Hospital and The Young and the Restless. So,
Man,
world is
working actor.
It's a good world, yeah.
Living the dream.
You're a cop on both shows?
Yeah, not the same cop.
That's funny.
Different cop. It's either Cop 1, Cop 2, or police guard of some sort.
Yeah, I totally get a cop vibe.
It'd be cool
from
if it was a crossover. Like, you remember on those Nickelodeon shows or Disney shows when Hannah Montana would pop up at the Wizards of Waverly
Drake
Place?
and Josh.
Yeah,
I remember.
And it'd be like, what are you doing here? Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
but
much fun.
different.
Yeah, not really the same. They'd be like, hey, aren't you a cop in art? Whatever.
I understand.
Anyway,
I'm on board with you.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to see Napoleon in this episode of Silicon Valley.
Yeah, Napoleon, you want to tell the folks at home?
Yeah, just like anything for, an actor when you're excited to be on an episode of something. So I gathered all my friends and family, and we got to see it, and then the scene was cut.
Made it to the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
But we're happy to have you here anyway. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of insight for us tonight.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to hear what it was like working with all the guys and being on that set. I'm sure it was such a blast.
Yeah, it was. And they got nominated for an Emmy this year.
I saw.
So the night that we filmed the episode was the night before the Emmys. So
No way.
we were the last scene to be filmed.
Oh, my God.
It was raining that night. So everybody was nice, and the creator, Mike Judge, was on set. He brought his daughter in, and then all the guys they improv off script and stuff. So I had to take the insults as not personal. They would tell me I looked like The Rock or an ugly looking bodyguard or something like that.
Did they tell you that?
They would say, but I thought it was serious at first. But I realized that it was just
just joking around.
improvising.
So were they pretty professional or were they pretty silly?
They were very professional and silly, but
both.
Silicon Valley.
I didn't know where you were going with that, and I think that was really funny.
Thanks. Yeah. But the experience of being in front of all of those guys, you can tell that they are the show that they are because of their back and forth banter, and you don't know whether it's real or not. The cameras are rolling, the cameras are not rolling, so they
insulted
always
you.
on. Yeah, and it was fun. At first, it wasn't, but they shook my hand and stuff and said, good job, nice work. And
did you have all of the Pied Piper people there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
all of them, yeah.
Just for the folks at home, hey guys, can you tell them what scene you were in?
Yeah. So it's in the beginning of this episode when the end frame guy, Mark, he's the leader of the end frame. He comes in and he introduces his sales team.
I see. Yeah.
So in the episode today, and here's my sales team. And then he walks out. So the entire scene of what was supposed to happen between myself, the lead salesman, and the Pied Piper team was cut. And watching it, I think I know what it was. My line is insulting Richard's character. I call Erlock, "Hi Richard, nice to meet you." Where Richard comes in and says, "I'm Richard. Why would you think he's?" So I think it would have been the second or third time that joke
has been
would have been made. So I watched it and I was like, oh. It's clear that they would have had to cut that out. It just seems like it's overdone.
Totally.
Yeah.
We were talking before the show about all of us having experience being cut out. I was cut out of a film I did, and I like went to the theater. I mean, I wasn't totally cut out, but like all my really dramatic roles were cut out, and I was sitting there like waiting for this moment to come, and it didn't happen. Rob Lowe has a great story in his book.
Yeah,
about
my
that.
dad went to like a premiere of something that I was supposed to be in, and he was talking to people, and like after the thing was over, I wasn't in it, and he was like so embarrassed. Sorry, Dad. My bad.
That's Hollywood for you. What? Anyway, we better get started on the episode.
Let's talk about the episode.
All right, well, let's get to it. And Napoleon, hopefully you'll be able to interject
for sure.
and help us out here.
Yeah.
I want to start with the end frame. I know we just brought that up, but that was a big plot point in tonight's episode. End frame, just to recap, is that group of people who stole from Pied Piper.
Brain rape.
The algorithm.
They brain raped them.
Yeah, I remember even watching that, all that stuff going on, because like at the beginning of the season, the Pied Piper guys had so many different interactions with so many different people from different companies and stuff. And I was wondering if one of these things was going to come back around, and I had a feeling that this one was going to be, a pretty big deal.
Yeah, and it's really screwing them over.
Or is it?
I don't
Tables
know. I mean,
have
literally, there was like,
turned.
I wrote
good
down
point.
here in the middle of this episode, I said, Pied Piper is so fucked. Because I was like,
You
I
said
don't.
that to me.
Yeah, I was like, what are they gonna do? I was like, oh my god, everything is going wrong. Like everything that could go wrong for them is gone wrong for them. So yeah, but the end of the episode really turned that around.
Fight fire with fire. I feel like they just did what they did to them. Except
I
I guess
know.
a little more illegally, and like they literally gave the algorithm to Endframe instead of hacking in and stealing.
Right. So what we're talking about is
Yeah.
how Guilfoyle found the login code and password. Login code. I sound like a grandmother or grandfather, depending on if I'm male or female on any particular
Either
day
or.
of
You
the
mean
week.
you mean just an elderly
Right. Elderly folk.
folk.
They found the
not
login.
so familiar with technological terms.
I'm really not though. They found the login and password to Endframe's exchanges with Intersight, right? I'm getting
Yeah.
all these tech words right.
I guess was it like the email or something? I don't know. Like
or like his, I don't know, maybe it's in the cloud. It's sort of,
Yeah.
so he just was using his his login password to get all the information that way. I think the problem here is okay, what's a worse thing to do? Like what Endframe did to Pied Piper or what Pied Piper did to Endframe? Like what is the worst, morally?
Legally, what Pied Piper did to Endframe.
No, morally. Who cares about legal stuff?
Well, then obviously
Endframe,
right?
sucks.
So that means
This
that we
is just
can't be
revenge.
upset about the fact that at the end of the episode I was like, should we be hoping that they don't take the information or whatever? But and then I was like, no, of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not.
gotta root for them,
Yeah.
man.
What do you think, Napoleon?
Well, I'm hoping that Endframe. Well, well, like you said, legally they didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
Right.
They gave it to them, and so
Is it illegal what Pied Piper did?
It's gotta be.
It's stolen information.
But it was just out.
But
No, yeah,
it was
it's
in their
illegal.
personal computers.
Yeah, that's true.
Pied
there's-
Piper is in a lot of legal stuff right now. They've
Yeah.
got a lot. I remember he walked into the lawyers trying to sue everybody. It's like we need to chill out on this
down.
whole illegal.
But
But,
there's 3 more episodes this season. I'm like, how is this all gonna be?
Yeah.
There's 3 more episodes. You just look at your watch.
Yeah. Oh, I have a frame. I have a watch that gives me information on HBO Go
Yeah,
shows.
HBO.
Yeah, HBO Watch.
But
Only
what,
HBO Go though, not regular HBO.
what Pied Piper's doing with the information isn't illegal. If you think about that way.
what
they're
Pied
just-
Piper's doing with Unfriend? No, I agree. That's
Yeah.
why I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, so they just found the information illegally, but what they're doing is cool.
Was your character an asshole?
No, he was just the lead salesman. But then I guess when he did meet the characters, well, you know what? The short end of that. I'm remembering my lines.
Give us one.
Well, I say, nice to meet you, Richard,
right, yeah.
to Erlock. And then
Right.
Richard asks me, well, why do you think he would be the CEO? And then my line is, well, he's better looking and he's taller.
Oh.
He looks less like a turkey. So that was the line. So it's more insulting, Richard. Yeah, and he gets
Yeah.
upset.
I love a couple times, especially with last episode when Erlich's kind of person was called into question, the
Yes.
way he is.
He's
Yeah.
the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah, and that's the first time that we really called out the fact that this guy's crazy. He's so crazy. I can't believe that
No, you're right.
people can handle being around him. And so ever since then, it's like kind of this episode too, with like, you know, Richard getting kind of upset that he doesn't come off as like a stronger CEO kind of guy.
Right.
And it's so funny to watch Richard get like sassy.
Oh, I was thrilled with this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him being a hard ass.
Me too.
Because he's such like a little dude.
I know. And
That's my
he's always like, well, no, you like we have a contract, so you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Except to
yeah,
Russ
yeah.
Hanneman.
Okay, so then Richard wants to sue, as you mentioned, Quinn, but I do want to go back to that.
Sorry, we're jumping all over the place.
No, we're not. No, this is good. Richard does want to sue, but he is advised not to. Right? Don't do it.
Yeah.
You're already being sued by this mega corporation, Hooli. Just like calm down.
We haven't really talked about the Hooli lawsuit in a while.
I'm glad
We
though,
keep
because I
mentioning
was
it, but we
getting sick of
haven't.
that.
Yeah, but we keep like talking about it, but I don't actually know where we're at.
I guess, does it take a while, lawsuits?
Yeah, I suppose.
I guess
the
so
retainer, he has the he.
Oh, yeah, for the lawyers.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
booked his lawyers. That's what I think it is.
Law.
I don't know.
Law. Okay, yeah, whatever. I was happy to see the lawyer again. It's always fun when he's around.
Yeah.
And
good
then
looking.
and then
Good looking
Richard finally goes to Intersight and meets with the CEO and says, "Yo, I can make your porn, right?
Yeah.
I can make your porno
With lower bits or something.
lower bit, higher speed, all this
Better.
stuff." We're gonna get some comments in the YouTube section because I don't know what
Because
I'm talking
Endgame is
about.
gonna do what 4K video stream at 20 megabytes per second.
MBs,
I
whatever.
don't think that's megabyte.
much bacon. Wouldn't that be funny?
Way better than megabytes.
So, but the CEO's like, stop. This is stupid. I don't want to talk about this. And he's like,
Because she
no.
was like, this is shady.
And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but
especially
let
he's
me
like-
prove it to you.
Yeah, but like when they had that like conference with all like the porn sites,
They were so funny,
Those
the
site
names.
were hilarious. But like it was crazy. Like the business is like it's the porn business, but all these people were like so professional and
Yeah.
like very like you know.
Yeah,
It's
but
a
that goes-
business overall.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. But it's like that's the thing is like it's you'd think with like porn and stuff it'd be like like a little wishy washy like everything's kind of dirty and under the table, but like
It's like
no,
suit
that's
and
not
tie
the
and then
truth.
do
Yeah,
everything
it's like
correctly.
yeah.
I like how he got to her though, like on a personal level, like kind of like we need to survive, and that's what you mentioned. So
I
let us
know.
do this
With a heart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Napoleon, did you watch the show before you were cast on it?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's good. You didn't have
Yeah.
to like catch up.
No, I was a fan of the show before.
That's so cool to get to book something that you like.
Yeah, that you watch.
Yeah.
regularly. So-
Do you know anything about, and I'm not going to press you on this, but what happens in the rest of the season?
I don't. So this episode that we saw today, I've had that script for the past 6 months.
Right.
So, but you just get that
Yeah.
script. So,
Right.
But even as the episodes are aired, I don't have any idea. Of how they're correlating all the.
Right.
I'm surprised they
events and
didn't
stuff.
send you everything just to make sure your character had a lot of background, just do your due diligence.
Just the one episode.
Yeah, just the one
yeah.
episode. I guess you gotta make it up yourself.
Right. So.
All right.
Let's go now to Dinesh and his plot point tonight. Because
Dinesh has been so girl crazy lately.
yeah, right.
I know.
I think so too.
He just
on there?
wants to get laid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that what men say?
Yeah, that's how boys talk about girls.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I have a lot of experience with that. He wants to pretend he's like this out and about man about town, and he never leaves his computer screen.
Yeah, so this is like a Tinder. He met a girl on Tinder, Karen.
Right.
And in her bio, it was like, I like a man about town. So he's like, okay, I have to make it seem like I do stuff.
So he, in his email signature that he writes on his computer, he writes sent from my iPhone.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's like out about the town sending these emails off.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, oh, I'm at an art gallery opening, and he sends a picture of like a 5-year-old's like
That was so
crappy art.
funny
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's like stealing from children is so easy
yeah.
because they can't
because they don't have the internet. They'll never
figure
find
it out.
out. Yeah. Look like art, good for Jaden.
I know.
Props to him.
Is that the name of the kid?
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Jaden's such a great name for like
For
a
a
5-year-old.
five-year-old.
That's what
Exactly,
kids
yeah.
are named these days.
Yeah.
Side note, my Aunt Jane didn't know what the lineup was on Nickelodeon when I was a kid because she didn't have kids.
Right.
And I was like, she's going to make a terrible mother. She doesn't even know what's on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, she has to. You can't have kids unless you know.
You got to know.
I think
Gotta
that's
be
written.
in.
That's in What to Expect When You're Expecting. That's one of the rules.
Oh, I never read it.
Oh, it's a great read. You should peruse.
Did you ever read that book, Napoleon?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
You're not expecting anytime soon, are
No,
you?
not at all.
Okay, good. Whew. I just
kind of
making sure.
It was a kind
His
of
girlfriend's sitting on the couch, by the way. That's why I
don't
just
take a
pointed
picture of
it.
me.
I won't take a picture of you. I'm just saying that's why I just give you
Yeah,
that
thank
awkward
you.
thumbs up.
She's very pretty.
Sitting there in the womb.
Yeah.
But
Anyways.
back to the
Yeah.
show.
What? We're talking about a show?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, it's Silicon Valley.
Yeah,
Silicon
that's
Valley.
it.
I see. I missed that.
Yeah.
I kind of felt bad for him that Ehrlich kind of took his thunder, you know, Dinesh.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's a real bummer.
It was so
Yeah.
awkward too. It was kind of like I couldn't really tell if that girl liked Ehrlich.
Or
couldn't-
she knew that well, if she liked Dinesh or Ehrlich was, like, did she know Ehrlich was there?
Well, because she was
kinda
like, this is where
weird.
you live, so she'd been there to that house before, especially
Yeah.
because she had left her earrings there
Yeah.
and stuff. But like when she saw him, she wasn't like happy to see him. It was like kind of awkward, and then she ends up going off with him. I was like, oh, okay.
Because she never called.
Yeah, she never called.
It's weird.
Ehrlich's a great character, but he drives me crazy.
Yeah. But that's the whole thing is kind of coming into question. I think he's going to kind of have like a little bit of a come down moment.
Yeah, that's good. He deserves it, I think.
You mean like
Come down from his, like, pedestal?
Yeah,
Or?
yeah. I think he's gonna have to kind of like. He's gonna have. I mean, it's never gonna change as a character because that's just who he is, and he's an integral part of that. The way he is an integral part of Pied Piper. But
Yeah.
like, I think that like it seems they're kind of setting him up to kind of like chill out a little.
I don't know.
No,
I think so.
I don't know.
With the Kool-Aid, I don't know, I keep saying Kool-Aid man.
I feel like they always say that to
Last
him
week's
all the
episode.
time. You know?
See, I think this is like
You
the first
do?
time they've
Yeah.
really called it into question.
I would have to go back and really think
Yeah.
about
I don't know.
that.
His kind of boisterous personality.
I have a question about set life, hashtag set life.
Yeah. Hashtag molest.
Are they improvising a lot? Because I know you said they were improvising, and it feels improvised, but like how much of it is written? How much do they get to go off on?
Well, with the scene that I was in, it was improvised in the rehearsal process.
Right.
And they do a couple takes in the rehearsal, and it's fun. But then when they're filming it, it seems like the rehearsal hasn't stopped. So they
That's fun.
they make their jokes that they feel are fitting. Which if you watch a lot of the show, they basically just call the characters out on what they look like. So
Yeah.
for example,
Right.
I was bald headed, and I always get this that I look like The Rock and or some bodyguard or some guard or some sort. So they
Right.
just
Yeah,
started
when I saw
firing
you, I
it
thought
off.
I had to show you my ID to get in.
So they just fired it off, and it was a lot of just. I was taking it at first, but then personal. But then I realized that it's what they do.
Oh, I would cry. I have the
characters.
thinnest skin.
No, I
Yeah.
wouldn't. But I'm a
would.
Google Goose. Like that's my problem. Is like if I was in that room with all those
Because
funny
that's how
people.
I met them. That was our
You
interaction.
just
Yeah, right.
walked right
we
in.
walked in and we just did that.
Wow,
So,
so they
wow.
filmed quickly.
yeah,
Dang.
Boom, boom,
they
boom.
filmed very quickly.
Where did you guys film?
At Sony.
Sony.
Yeah, they film at Sony.
Cool.
And that was a set you were on.
Yeah, it was a indoor set, and
Yeah. Didn't you guys think the end frame office looked exactly like what Pied Piper wanted their office to look like?
Yeah.
Like with the exposed brick and everything. I was like, oh, this was like Pied Piper's like wet dream office wise.
Yeah.
And they just didn't get to have it. Because
Yet.
they're not- yet. Seems like that might be a changing.
I'm surprised that they film. I don't know. Something about this show just seems like they're filming on location.
On location? Yeah, you'd think. They do
And
a
is
good
the
job.
house in the set as well? Do you know?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
No, we asked. No, remember, Suzanne
Suzanne
Cryer told us that the house is. They have an exterior
exterior
and they have
shot.
an exterior
Yeah.
shot, and then all this stuff inside is a set.
It's a set. It looks like a real crappy house. It's so weird to me.
I know.
It's like someone put a lot of effort into making it look.
Oh, I just remembered a funny part of this episode. Oh wait, no, maybe that was last week's.
What?
With Jared trying to get the two girls to be friends. That was last week's episode.
Last week.
That
yeah.
was last week.
Whoopsies. Sorry, I watched them both today.
But how cute was Jared with his little gloves on in tonight's episode?
I know, cleaning up.
Yeah.
And they were going assholes. He's like, you're right, buttholes.
He is such a butthole. That's funny. Okay, so Dinesh and Karen. Sorry, Dinesh, you tried so hard.
I know.
I like got the girl. Hooli is trying to turn this whole failure thing around. In last week's episode, their live stream totally was a disaster and froze up, and it was embarrassing for them. And Gavin Belson in this episode is trying to give like a TED Talk style like pep rally to his employees, and his employees aren't having it. They're like, no, this was a big failure. We're going to lose a lot of money. You can't turn this around. You
It was
can't
a
sugarcoat
failure talking about failure, you know?
it. Right. Meta.
Yeah. I thought it was funny. Big Head's just so dumb. Like, oh yeah, we'll have it one day in our lifetime. The bit that he was working on.
It's like to be able to the neurochip thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, to whatever you're thinking will be typed, right? In the text form.
If you can think it, you can do it.
Right.
It just shows that Hooli's not. I feel like they're not competition anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
we're not really worried about Hooli at all. I mean, like Hooli definitely has like the money and everything,
Right.
but it seems like they just can't get it together.
No.
With the math and all
But
that.
I wonder why. I've never seen them do anything well. So, like, how are they still staying afloat?
Well, I think that
Right?
maybe like technology is just moving a little faster than they can keep up with it now.
So they're like the, what? Samsung?
Yeah, they're the Samsung.
No offense to Samsung. Do we have a Samsung rep? Your girlfriend.
that's an iPhone.
Your girlfriend, by the way. Storms out. I do girlfriend because she's like my best friend for the longest time, and I just said your girlfriend.
This lady.
This
get out of here.
this
I was
lady
like,
over here. on the
Napoleon said,
couch.
yes, we're romantically involved.
Yes.
That's how grown-ups talk.
But
Don't look at my
I
face.
mean,
What else happens? Oh, wait, don't you guys think that Guilfoyle has been a serious MVP these days?
yeah.
He's so like on point.
Yeah.
And saving everybody's asses.
I mean,
all the
like, he
time.
literally put the servers together himself.
Yeah.
He's the one who, got the information. He's basically been, like, Dinesh's, like, I don't know. It feels like Dinesh has been, like, kind of, like, all crazy and upset, and Guilfoyle's just kind of been there silently, like, I'll help you through
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, he's got no feelings. Dinesh has got more feelings this season.
I
About
know.
ladies
Seriously.
and
He's a
stuff.
star-crossed lover.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's wrap this up by talking about Russ and his $200 million loss.
Yeah.
And so now he's no longer a billionaire.
He had to carve out. Sorry, what did I just say? He had to carve out. Yeah, he had to carve out the third comma on his 3 comma club poster painting thing.
Oh, I didn't catch that. That's why there was a thing in there.
Yeah, because he no longer has 3 commas.
I think I was on Instagram at that point. JK. I watch very
Get off this
diligently.
panel! What are you doing?
What? I'm kidding. I'm not even on Instagram. Just kidding. At Johnny Mangs. I forgot to give my handle. You can find me at Johnny Mangs.
We're gonna do that at the end.
Well, I'll do it twice, just so I get twice the followers.
I'm gonna unfollow you.
Oh, dang. Okay, so he loses a bunch of money and he's no longer a billionaire.
Yeah,
gotta
well,
buy-
even though he still is like crazy rich, it's not
Yeah.
a big deal.
He has
Like-
to rent cars that just close normally.
Yeah,
the doors close like this instead
So
of
he's-
like
Like
this.
So because of this, even though it's not a big deal, he's pulling funding from Pied Piper. Isn't that pretty much what happened there?
well, I don't know if he's stopping it because
He
the
was going
contract
to until the end when they're gonna do this whole thing with.
Endgame.
They're gonna have to battle it out.
Yeah. But
see who
like,
gets to-
or end frame. I keep
Endframe,
saying
yeah.
Endgame.
End
Sorry.
end frame, yeah.
Which is a good play.
Yeah.
It's a Brecht play.
Right, yeah. Oh, Bertold.
Oh, see, this is a smart actor right here. No, seriously, you know how many people in Airheads in Los Angeles don't even know what Brecht is?
There's a lot.
I like breakfast.
Yeah, like her. Like this gal. Sorry, so what were we saying? What is in this coffee today?
That's water.
Water.
Well, I don't.
With Russ?
I don't remember. Oh, about Russ. Oh, how he wanted to involve End Frame, like how they wanted to absolve Pied Piper.
Yeah, like it wasn't really gonna be a merger.
Yeah,
It was just gonna be like a takeover.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and Richard, or yeah, was it Richard who was like, okay,
Hell
so
no.
they steal from us, and then they absorb us or absolve us, and then
they
we're-
get to make way more money than us.
Right.
Yeah. Like no.
That ain't right.
No, but I mean, this is like the best way that this could have ended because there's no way that End Frame is going to be able to compete with Pied Piper just in terms of like the algorithm and stuff.
For
Because
sure.
like even though they tried to steal it from him, he like was pointing out at the board, being like, "You got this all wrong." Like he almost helped them out again. But
Do you guys? I have a question to pose for you. Do you ever feel like it's heroes against villains in this show?
yeah,
Yeah.
I wish there were 2 groups of people competing that I could switch back and forth.
well, I think
liking.
we're supposed to be emotionally invested in Big Head, and he's on the other side.
That's true, but it's not
I'm
enough.
not really invested in him. I just
No, me either.
yeah. I feel like they have villainous tendencies. Like Ehrlich is not a hero at all.
Right. No, you're right about that, but he's on our side.
But we only
Yeah.
really care about Ehrlich as much as he is an asset to Richard. That's why we care about Ehrlich.
Yeah, and when he like goes against Richard, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you're a dick.
You're an end framer.
Yeah.
But you like
Yeah.
Pied Piper?
Yeah, I do.
Well, he's a viewer of the
as a
show.
viewer.
As a viewer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always looked at the show as like a social network. If Social Network had a television series.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This would be the
And was like
comical
really
version.
funny.
It
Yeah.
was really funny.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
no, I
think the
think
exact same
Stealing
thing.
the ideas and then going against each other. So
Yeah, and like same thing with Social Network. There's so
Right.
many times in that movie where you're kind of like, you know, you still want to root for him for Mark the entire movie, but he's like doing things that you're like, don't do that. Why do you do that?
Unorthodox, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys, I
Anyway.
think we've done quite the recap. Let's talk
Woohoo.
about some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right. So, who wants to go first? Who's got a prediction that's just itching them on the inside?
I just think that Pied Piper wins. Clearly, I feel like it's no
I know.
I
know.
competition.
See, that's
No
what's disappointing. That's what I'm
competition.
saying, though. That's sort of the
Yeah, like
disappointment
shouldn't
right
we
now.
kind of be like biting our nails?
Yeah, now it's like, I mean, there was a good cliffhanger in this episode.
Yeah.
But don't you think like there's no way Pied Piper is gonna lose at this point?
Because Pied
Yeah.
Piper's had like a lot of bad news, so I think they need some good news.
And I think Dinesh finds a girl. Because I feel like it's been very,
Yeah.
like, Dinesh and
Maybe
ladies.
Monica.
Dinesh and, like,
Yeah. No,
Nah.
it's gonna be Richard and Monica. Shush.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know.
that was a great conversation. What about you? What do you think's gonna happen, Napoleon?
yeah, I think Pied Piper will
Take it.
take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I forgot the character's name that was working with them originally, and he's with Holy.
Big head.
Big head.
Big Head. Okay, that's who you mentioned.
Spaghetti.
There might be something with him
Yeah.
at the end of this. I don't know how that would.
I
go.
can't believe we
That's the
still
only
haven't
thing
had.
that- yeah.
We still
Yeah.
haven't had a conversation with Richard
them
and Big
together.
Head at this entire season.
So weird.
So I guess
Yeah.
that would be a prediction for me. That needs to happen. Kind of tete-a-tete.
And that would be one that we wouldn't see coming because we haven't seen Big Head that much.
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I also think that like this whole season we kind of keep talking about, you know, lawsuits and this and that, and I think we need to start seeing them. And that's 3 episodes left. We're gonna start seeing this stuff in action.
I'm excited. It's not really a prediction because we know it's gonna happen, but I'm excited to see what happens with End Frame, Pied Piper, and their battle to win over Intersight.
I also think that Richard and the gang working with with a porn company is gonna lead way for like lots of LOLs. It's gonna be really funny. Just Richard being so awkward and everything.
Yeah, bring on the lulz.
Bring them on. Hey,
Yes.
I'm ready.
Anything else we want to talk about?
No.
The silence says it all.
Yeah.
Napoleon, I do want to know when we can check you out on these shows. Do you have any idea of a schedule for Young and the Restless or
Oh yeah, the
General
soap
Hospital?
operas. Yeah, some recurring character on those shows. Well, how it works with those shows is they give you a date, but it's within that week.
Okay.
So, for example, this Tuesday I should be on General Hospital, unless the drama, of course, carries over, and so it might be Wednesday or Thursday. Or
I
something
see.
Like that, yeah.
So this coming week.
Yeah,
you'll be
this
on
coming
General
week.
Hospital.
Stay
Yeah.
tuned.
So you got to
All
watch
you
that.
GH fans.
Yeah.
And we can follow you at
Napoleon Tavale.
Do you have any other things you want to talk about?
I'm in pre-production for a musical, indie musical feature. Yeah, it's called
Indie
Broken.
musical.
Do you sing and dance?
Cool.
I do. So we're now in the stages of getting us in there and recording music.
Where
We're
are
just now
you
starting.
filming?
We're filming here in Los Angeles. So yeah, we're just starting that. Yeah, it should be fun.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I can't wait to. Do you know the name of it?
It's called Broken.
Oh, Broken. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
It's actually-
break a leg.
Broken, a musical. That's the full title.
Broken, a musical.
So look out for Broken, a musical, and General Hospital, and Young and
The Restless.
the Restless, Young and Hungry,
Yeah.
an ABC.
That's an ABC family show.
Family show. All right. Well, I
Robert,
guess we'll see you next week.
Are we gonna say bye?
Where can we find you?
Oh, okay. Hey,
we're gonna
I'm
say
Kelly. I thought you were like ending it already.
No.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HollyWeirdo. Thanks.
Hey guys, you can find me on Twitter at Quinn Scillian. You can find me on Instagram at Quinstagram, and you can find me on Vine at the Quinn Bee. Yeah, take notes. It's hard to remember.
Hi, I'm Jon Manganello, or bye, I'm Jon Manganello. You can find me at Johnny Mangs on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching this week. Tweet at us all week long at #ABTV Silicon Valley.
Woohoo!
And we'll see those tweets and we'll respond to them next week.
Thank you for having me.
Of
Thank you
course.
for being here.
Thanks for
Thank you
coming.
so much.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.